What's up, my friends? It's TMX once again. Today, I want to talk to you about the weekend review, the last week of August 2025, and also the MetaZoo hour that was today, September 1st, 2025. So, the week was not a lot going on, honestly. There was a lot of live streams. There was one from Hobby Club, that's Cardio, that they had Frostbite Labs had a couple. They had Zealous had a couple. MetaZoo Menace had a couple. We had Nick Power and Strength did a couple. Nick Power Strict one was like 4 hours long, and I was happy to see that some people were hopped in, especially a lot of people in the community. But they get really weird when his girlfriend comes on. I don't know, like we're adults, right? We've seen girls before. I think people just act a little weird around them, so I always peace out when people start acting weird in the chat. So I actually hung out with Frostbite Labs, and it was a sausage fest, but it was a fun one, and we got to hang out and just talk amongst the boys. So it was cool. We just talked about MetaZoo, watched some videos and stuff. I encourage you to watch all of them, really, because there's a lot of information to share. Whatnot streams have been going on. There's like MetaZoo Crew and One Up. It's like Crace Ball and his company. There's a couple people that were doing it. News that Tormentic is not going to be traveling with the crew for MetaZoo anymore. His regular human lifestyle has taken him back to what he does, and it's like he works with. I'm not gonna go. He works has a business, and his business is calling him back. So good luck to you. I'm glad that we got to spend some time with you. I hope I see you along the way. Hobby Club had a little issue with their giveaway. They were doing some original artwork. It was the Tripadero, and it had the background, and it was original artwork, and it was supposed to be the giveaway at the end for the buyer's givey. They accidentally said it as a regular givey, but somebody who bought one, and they said that they were going to reach out to people who bought in that didn't get it because the odds are skewed. It was like 1 in 9. It was supposed to be. It was really 1 in 24. So you had like a 4% chance or 5%. Yeah, 4% chance of winning, which you should have been like like 11% chance of winning. So it was kind of skewed. But they said they were making it up to people, and they're humans, so these things happen. So I'm glad that they're helping people out and not just like taking money and run. I would scale this on my new scale. I would put it like in between the height. Like it's a high height. It was a good week, but there was no really. There was radio silence for MetaZoo proper, so there was no MetaZoo hour. It got canceled last minute. It actually got pushed to this week. Now we talk about this week. This week we had a great MetaZoo hour. Before that, I'm going to talk about one thing. So there is a little thing I was down about. I'm trying to collect a certain thing, and it's the mailboxes. And there was a chance that I could have gotten the mailboxes at a decent price. And the mailbox promos are the ones that are giving out the Collecticons. And somebody had a whole set of them, and I needed a couple of them. I made a mistake. I should have reached out to them, said, "Hey, can I get a couple for this price?" I would have offered like $100 or something like that for a couple of them that I needed. He had them listed at some astronomical price. Not that they're overinflated, but they were just too much for one person. There was like 3 copies of one card. Nobody's going to buy 3 copies of the one card and pay like $900 for them. So he listed on eBay. They sold for 150. I was kind of kicking myself. I was watching it, but I was going to give $150 for the only like 3 cards that I wanted. Didn't make sense to me. I should have offered it. I snoozed. I lost. And that's how it goes. So I was kind of down about that. As something I've been collecting. I'm trying not to talk about it so it doesn't go up in price and people don't go searching for it. But it is what it is. Now, talking about MetaZoo Monday, Mr. Charlie had answered a lot of more questions. The worst ones of the MetaZoo Mondays are the people who are trolls, or when Charlie just talks about his legal mumbo jumbo instead of talking like a real human being. He was very personable, very honest and open today. He answered a lot of my questions, honestly. He talked about how OP is 2 months away, which is kind of a downer. It's the only thing that took it back from being a sheesh. So, so OP is 2 months away. He's working on it. It looks like they're doing their final touches on it. It looks like it's progressing. There's just printing and all the background stuff is a little difficult to get the pieces that they need. There's also, I'm a little confused, but there's going to be a different thing that's not OP. I guess it's like the gameplay set. That's like you open it up and you can play with your family. It's 4 players, and you just like pick out decks, and the decks are randomly organized and stuff like that. That one is different than OP, but that one's coming before OP. So it looks like there's a couple things going on at the same time. That set does not have the pricing and all that other stuff. There's a couple of people on there who are really not in the community, but I don't know why they jump in for the MetaZoo Mondays randomly. They seem like they haven't been there for other ones because they're asking the same questions that are asked on every single one. So it looks like they're not in the Discords, they're not on the Whatnot streams, they don't have friends or family who are into MetaZoo, they just hop in randomly to ask the same questions that I asked over and over again, like TCG Player. Like TCG Player is owned by eBay, and they're doing a different business route now. Previously, they were really burned by old MetaZoo because they did this eBay stream live with Kuromi, and they had this collector set that didn't really sell well, and they spent a lot of money trying to sell that, and spent an hour with Mike and Bailey trying to sell the set, and it only sold like 10% of what they wanted to sell, and then they had to cut the price in half and refund people who had purchased it. It was a whole thing that it blew up in their faces. So I understand their caution in trying to get into the new zoo. So it's probably not going to happen. And if it happens, you're going to hear about it. You're not going to hear about it on MetaZoo Monday. You're going to hear about it on a Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock when everyone starts talking about it. So to ask the same questions over and over again is a little wild. So OP's delayed. There's no movement in TCG Player. The new Dark set is coming out. It's still coming out by the end of the year. We don't have a time frame on it because, again, the manufacturing is a little bit of an issue right now. They're going to spoil a Dark card in the next MetaZoo Hour coming out next week. What else did we talk about? Talked about there's going to be new promos so Chicago's going to get number 3 promo, the one that we've been waiting for, and Jersey's going to get a new promo, like New Jersey new promo, and they're not going to do promos for every place that they go to because it doesn't make any sense. It's to just do one for every single con that they do, and they don't know when they're going to be at the cons, and it's not as sought after if they do one for every single thing, which is understandable. What else did they talk about? Wendigo is making his return, and they're not going to Bigfoot it. They're going to use the same design as the old zoo for Wendigo in the new Dark set. There's a Flatwoods monster by Poncho that's out there somewhere. It's going to be allocated to a certain set coming up. I don't know if there's anything else that they talked about. Yeah, OP. Yeah, I think that's everything that they talked about. It was a really good one. There was no artist there. Bob was in there, but he wasn't, highly involved. The lore guy wasn't in there. It was just Charlie and us. They were just asking questions. He was answering pretty much a lot of the questions. Honestly, yes, he answered a lot. So it was good to be able to get that information from him straight from the source. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I would score this one I said it wasn't a sheesh because of OP being delayed. So I would put it in like a low nice, a high 8. So like in this area is where we landed out today for the MetaZoo Hour. Thank you so much for watching. Be cool, do good, and be nice to each other. All right, y'all. Peace.